All right, so at this point, we're starting to feel a little bit like the Pope's roadies. It seems that that weekend he was going down to Naples for an ecumenical conference sponsored by the community of Sant'Egidio here in Rome. One of the priests of that community is one of our professors, so we kind of got the hookup and knew where he was going, and that was in Naples, and Zach has family from Naples, so we decided that would be a good weekend to go down. We'd hang out with Zach's family, and on Sunday go to mass with the Pope, which we have not had a chance to do, which we had not had a chance to do yet. So we got train tickets. We went down. It's about hour and a half, 2 hour train ride to Naples, and Zach's. We were calling him Uncle. We're not actually quite sure what the relation is, but whatever. The family of Zach picked us up in Arezzo, which is near Naples. It's just outside of Naples. No, sorry, not Arezzo, Aversa. It sounds like Arezzo, but it's Aversa. And we went. They've got, I guess the tradition in Italy is that a family pretty much owns an apartment building, and when the kids grow up, they just kind of move upstairs. So we went to their apartment building, and they made us lunch, and I guess it's just traditional Italian ways to have a 4 course lunch. Oh my gosh, we ate so much food. It was actually really kind of funny because they were asking it. The family doesn't speak any English, well, very little English. There's one guy who speaks kind of broken English. The rest of it was Italian. Our Italian's obviously broken. So he was trying to ask us, "Do you guys eat everything?" Meaning, is there anything we shouldn't make because you don't eat it? And we're like, no, we eat everything. And he says, kind of sarcastically, but in Italian, don't eat the table. So it took us a couple minutes to figure out, and we figured out, and we're like, haha, and we're like, oh look, Timmy eats the table, and we laughed. So the running joke then became, why isn't Timmy eating the table? Because none of us could finish any of the food that was set before us. There was just so much, and there was always another course. And I guess that's just the Italian way of doing things. But at every meal, there was more food than the four of us could handle. So that day after lunch, we went out and we saw a palace nearby, which was built to be bigger than the palace at Versailles in France, and it was pretty richly or ordinated. It was pretty richly decorated, I guess you would say, and it was pretty neat to see. We walked through it, and let's see, let's get straight to the good part. On Sunday, the Pope came into town, and we went down to Naples. Of course, it was like 45 degrees and raining, so we figured it'll be okay. We're going to go to mass with him in the cathedral. So we kind of stood out on the street as he drove by. I guess he came in by helicopter and then was going by motorcade, and then it was about at that point that we realized, oh no, the mass is outside in the square in front of the cathedral. So we stood around for about an hour and a half of this papal mass. We got pretty much just after the homily, and we just couldn't take anymore. It was just so cold and rainy that we left. So our first experience of mass with the Pope didn't go well, and here's hoping that there's going to be a second, because we have not yet been to mass completely with the Pope. So we went back and we had lunch again, which was a bit more manageable. We learned never take seconds on any course of an Italian meal, because there's always another course. So anyway, we survived lunch, and then we went to mass at Zach's family's home parish, where I guess Zach's uncle, as we're calling him, is training to be a deacon. He's been ordained an acolyte, so he was introducing us to the priest and all that, and they asked us if we wanted to participate in mass, and we said yes, though I had an inclination that he didn't mean fully actively and consciously. So we ended up sitting on the altar in our cassocks, and we didn't really do much, but we sat there and looked pretty, and it was good. And then we came back and we did some work on the train, read on the train, and that was the end of our Naples trip, which I guess was an experience to say the least. Okay, we got a couple more trips coming up. Stay tuned.